Hey, it's Don the Auction Professor. Today I'm joined by my wife.
Hi, I'm Marky, and this is our very moody dog, Henry. He's our little Chihuahua. Okay, you can say bye now, Henry. Bye. We've been married for 26 years and have been doing eBay full-time for about 5 years.
We're going to be going out to some thrift stores doing a few errands, so she decided to go along today. Usually she helps out and does a lot at the house, so don't have a lot of time to do stuff together sometimes other than the actual eBay work, but we're going to go on out and do a couple of picks. We will check you later.
See you later.
Oh, well, we're back. It's just almost 1. The wife's getting stuff ready downstairs so we can be ready for our employees to show up today at 1. And I'm going to show you what we got today. We didn't find a ton of stuff, but we're going to make a few bucks, $400 or $500 probably, with the records, thank goodness. For the most part, I don't go to thrift stores on their own unless I'm going somewhere else. We go to more reliable sources where we can source tons of items instead of just half a dozen or so. Thrift stores just aren't as reliable as they used to be. 5-6 years ago, we used to just be able to go to a thrift store and find a ton of stuff really easy, really cheap. But now, you know, the competition is really killing it. But But I did find a few nice items. This right here, it's a Murphy's oil soap bottle, probably from the 40s or 50s. I'm guessing since there's nothing like this on eBay, the only comps I can get are from another site. I would say about 35 or 40 bucks maybe, and this is what I would take home. I'm probably going to put at least $57.50 on it and just go from there. It's probably a 1930s. It's a glass window cleaner bottle of some sort. Nice big heavyweight item. Very interesting. Don't mess with a lot of things, but I do like bottles, so I do buy bottles and I do sell bottles a lot. I talked about these, the SADS light kits. I paid, you can see it in the video, I paid $4 for this at the thrift store. It's another one of the SADs for up here in the north to help shine light on you. It's literally like a medical device. I showed one in another video. I find these all the time. Just a coincidence, I found another one at the thrift store. I found a half a dozen of these at the thrift store, anywhere from $2 to $4. They sell very well. This is like 30 or 40 bucks minimum. This is newer than the last one I got, and it's a Philips, actually, a nice brand, works great, really bright light, and again, these do sell a lot up here because up north the sun isn't out as much and you have half the year you're inside, or a few months out of the year. So this is for SADS, and it works great. Again, these are big quick profit mover items. We sell them all the time, usually up for a week or two and they're gone, because these are like $100 or better when they're new. Let's see here what else I got. I got 4 records. First one here is Ronnie DiMario and his Rocking Kings. It's a rockabilly rocker on a Jubilee label. This is a promo. I should get like 75 bucks for it. Again, these are all just from that thrift store. I showed you all the records they had there. I look for that kind of stuff all the time. Out of all the records I threw in the cart, the last thing I do is I pick through them after I've looked at everything else, and I'll sort through and look them up at the last minute before I go. So I looked up out of all the ones I found and picked out. I have 4 45s, and I've got 3 LPs. Here's a Danny Hutton. This one's like $12.50, and these are prices I should get out of them. $37.50 for Little Sonny Lister, and let's see here, the last one is Joe Bennett, and this one's like $24.50. So I got almost $200 in 45s. I got 3 LPs, as I said. This is a soul modern synth LP. The gentleman's name is Billy C. Edwards, but he goes by Billy C. Limited, and it's called Jupiter Morning. You can look this up on PopPsych. I don't know if any have sold recently on eBay, but PopPsych, you'll see these go for like 30 bucks a piece. I was lucky, and they actually had 2 of them. One has the cello, which I'll probably put $57.50, and then one doesn't. But they both look mint. They look like they've never been played. Oddball stuff like this usually isn't played, and that's where I make the best money on stuff like this. But again, probably about 70 or so, 75 bucks I'll get out of the 2 of these. So right now we're up over $400 just in this one little pick we did. Again, we went to go do something else. We were just out. We hadn't gone. This is out in Bowling Green. This is a ways from our house. We had to pick up some electronic devices, but this is Herbert von Karajan. It's a gramophone from Germany. It's a tulip version, meaning that there's tulips actually on the label. Kind of hard to see this way, but these are the early first ones. This is worth like 30 or 40 bucks easy any day of the week. You can again look it up. It's the Dvorak, and it's the New World. Again, it's a real nice one. I do like classical music too. I've been to symphony orchestra here in town. We used to do the symphony and the orchestra master series in Disney is when we were there, and used to like listening to it. We do jazz and all the way from alternative and really any kind of music I like, as long as it's upbeat and heavy style. But this is a good one. This is an early one, 1960s original. Again, you can look this up yourself and see what they go for. And again, when I'm telling you to look up stuff, just look up something when I'm telling you that. If you really want to know and learn stuff, start looking this stuff up. You're going to be surprised at all the other records you can see, and eventually you're going to see the same ones over and over again. You're going to run into some of these, and you're going to be able to buy them because you remember them. But if you're not looking stuff up just randomly like that, you're just not going to want to learn these areas if you're not going to look it up. This is going to take time and practice to get into this, but with the new policies and the summer update on eBay, they could be straying away from clothing. I don't know how many people stopped selling clothing when Amazon went the route they did, and now that eBay's doing it, you're going to be in the same boat, with the returns. So I would honestly recommend looking into other categories and areas. And this is just one thrift store I went to. You saw all the records that were on the shelves. So there's always a good chance to get a couple $100. I'm going to get probably around $350 out of the records I got there, and we have $53 in everything. And that's including my wife bought some clothing for the kids. She bought a couple workout clothings, a hoodie, and a few other things. So out of the items that I got to resell, we're probably looking at, you know, maybe 23 bucks into everything. But I got a few shirts. You saw this one here. This is World War II-ish, maybe a little newer. This is a military sweater. It's a sweater man's, 100% wool, olive drab. It's got a contract number on it, the whole works. These go for like 20 or 30 bucks all day long. The older they are, the better. And this is in real nice condition, still wearable. And then I got a Bugatti Uomo shape fit button down, real nice shirt. Now I looked this one up. I'm not great. I knew the name was decent. But again, I don't mess with shirts if they're under 30 bucks. It's just a habit. I don't like messing with the time it takes to list. You got to put measurements to be safe. And then again, the aspect on returns. But this one's probably in the $40 to $100 range. It's a nice one. Just going to depend on what day of the week it is, on who buys it and such forth. But this one should go for at least 45, I would gather. I looked up comps and it does sell. So, but that's literally all we got. And this is again why I like to go to more reliable sources like auctions, local auctions, flea markets, where there's a bunch of vendors instead of me being stuck looking at one store. Multi-source locations are the best. Antique malls are the bomb. Even antique stores are good depending on if their merchandise is diversified. But it doesn't take long to go into one of these stores and realize which booths are and aren't looking up their items depending on the price. If you go in and see a postcards and they've got them 15, 20 bucks a piece for some of them, don't even bother looking. The chances of finding something good are very slim if they're pricing them that high. But if they're 2, 3, 4 bucks at the most, I always look through them. So just a little word to the wise. But you can see I got some good stuff. There's $500 at least here for our $20 or $24 investment. But again, it's not reliable for me because we like getting bulk items, and I usually would pay less for this if I'm buying it from a picker. The records are about the same price wherever you go. 50 cents to $2 is what you pay for most records anywhere you go, whether it's a 16 speed, 33, 45, or 78. That's about what we pay, 50 cents to $2 a piece at most. And when we buy them in bulk, we can get them down to a penny even. Sometimes they're cheaper. But again, that's why I try to source things, and I don't go special trips to thrift stores. Ours are pretty scattered. There's not any real close next to each other. Unless I'm on the way to somewhere else, then I might be able to go buy 2 or so. But where we were going today, in Bowling Green, we just really didn't want to mess with it. We had to be back by 1. 2 employees are downstairs right now in our home office working, or at least they're being set up. The wife pulled out the sheets already for what they're working on today, and that's our plan. We're still going full steam on listing. We got almost 1,100 listings up since we started the whole process. It's going to go a little slower now since we're going to be photographing a lot of odd, small, actual items instead of paper items. So we're moving on to a different category. So it does take some more time. And then we've got clothing coming up in another week or so. Since I've got about 70 or 80 pieces of nice, 30 plus dollar profit clothing items right now. But again, Don the Auction Professor, please hit the like button below if you liked it, subscribe, and tell a friend.